Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today I'm doing NWOpening number 96. We are trying to continue barreling on with the unboxings. Now we have a little bit of momentum behind them. And honestly, because I did Evil Uno, my two perfectly balanced piles of AEW figures are now unbalanced, which means I need to do another one. So I decided to do the AEW Unrivaled Series 7 Nyla Rose wrestling action figure. Honestly, when this was previewed and announced and stuff, I probably never in a million years expected I would bother to pick it up. But again, she's another person from the Ethan Page vlogs that I actually just really like. I think she's just such a chill person. She's a good laugh, and I do enjoy the videos that she's in, so I decided to pick her up. I picked this up around the same time as Lance Archer, and I thought for both, if I could find them for less than like 15, I'd pick them up. And then I found them on, I want to say I found them on Amazon for like 11, or maybe a seller had them on eBay and it worked out to like £11 for both, I think, maybe. Yeah, I can't quite remember. Details don't really matter. But we've had this sat on the shelf ever since, or rather in the pile of AEW figures. And much like many AEW figures, this was not only cheap to buy, but it doesn't look like it's ever going to be worth anything either. So I might as well get her unboxed, since basically the reason why I leave things in boxes just in case I decide to sell them. So it's just a usual AEW Unrivaled packaging, of course, with the gold trim. We got the Nyla Rose down the side. She is number 58 in the Unrivaled series collection. And we've, of course, just got the brick wall stuff on the side. We've got the Celebrating Nyla on the back. The rest of Series 7 was Lance Archer, which, as I say, I got. Dax and Cash, which I would have got when they were like down to £10 in Smiths, but I think in my Smiths, if I remember correctly, we only had Dax. We didn't have any Cash. We had like 10 Dax and no Cash. You know, they weren't great figures anyway. Their heads were terrible. And I did actually have these Young Bucks until I decided to sell them last year, because I decided they were worth more money than I, kind of valued them at. I made profit on them, and ultimately, with how slow I produced the Fed, they're probably never going to feature in anything, especially now that the tag team division has sort of taken off on its own. But it's an interesting wave, really. Like, there's definitely waves that I was less interested in. In a different timeline, I would absolutely own all of them. Although, if Lance was worth something, I probably would have sold that by now as well. So I think that's more or less everything that we have for the waffle portion of this video, and we're really struggling to focus on her. The camera's really struggling to focus on her in this, but yeah. So let's crack into it. So we can see inside the packaging, you can see we have the plastic to stop this kind of scarf, I guess, from staining the hair or her shoulders or anything. We also have the same thing around the entirety of her body, which is pretty cool. I actually always thought this was like a jacket or something, but it's actually just like a scarf or something. And that, well, we'll get into what we're seeing there in a second. But yeah, I'm gonna be extra careful with the AEW figures on account of the, many ones whose joints have not survived. It's almost as if they were made by the same people that had the Jack-specific figures, just with the arms terminally falling off. So that bit of rubber around her has just perished. Like, that's just snapped in the packaging. That's good. You can literally see how it's gone yellow as well. Yeah, if the camera would focus on it, you'd be able to see it better. But yeah, good old Jez. He knows what we need. He knows what we want. So, get these bits of plastic off her as well. You can see it covers her entire back, actually. Oh, that's funny. That's really funny. I just realized, after saying that you can see the yellow plastic on the rubber, that this isn't supposed to be there. This thing here, which I thought was also just falling apart, yeah, that's the rest of the rubber. That's just, that's not trim on the scarf or anything, as I just assumed it was. That's just the perished rubber. I mean, I know it's not really a big deal, apart from the fact that this is now, like, this has now embedded itself in the scarf. I know it's not really a big deal, but that's terrible. That's terrible packaging. I mean, it's. I know it's had a been. I know it's had a few years since it's been, or while it's been in there, but you know, it's not been that long, and you know, sealed in a box, bit of plastic packaging. You wouldn't think, you know, the stuff on like the DC Direct figures that I've been unboxing, like, hasn't just died. So yeah, I don't know about that one, but yeah, we'll gently peel that stuff off. Yeah, I honestly thought that was just a bit of trim. Okay, just gently brush away the perished rubber for later. So yeah, here we go. Let's take a bit of a closer look. So, first of all, the head. I'm not a huge fan. It's fine. I'm not a fan of the open mouth scan. Never have been. You know, I would have preferred just the same sort of grimace as on the box. Does it look like a? Yes, I guess. Is it a great head? No, not really. But it's alright, it's fine. And the, what would you call it? Like the headband is pretty cool. There's a nice bit of detail on there as well. And the sculpting on the hair is quite cool as well. We'll get into what the hair looks like around the back in a moment. Then, of course, we have this red scarf thing with no trim on it. That's just, that sits under her hair really well. But yeah, we're just gonna slide that out for now so we can take a look at the attire underneath. We've got this gold and black attire, kind of typical Nyla Rose native beast gear. It's pretty nice, actually. The black across the chest here is like really matte, like it's really quite smooth. Then of course we've got the gold around the side. That could be painted better. You can see it's quite thin around like the edges of it. Definitely could be applied better. It's a bit better on that side, but yeah. You can see we've got the gold bands on that arm and the tattoos on this arm. Let's take a bit of a look at that. It's not bad. It's kind of like that very basic Jack stenciling that you see on tattoos. I'm going to assume a tattoo doesn't just look like that. You can, of course, also see the gauntlets on her hand. On both hands, that is. We've got the AEW Women's title belt. Now, I only own like 3 AEW Women's figures, and I still already have 2 of this belt. And I know technically it's better to have it than not have it, but yeah, I really don't need this many. My plan in its entirety, unless I ever follow through with a very minor idea I had to have like an AEW pick fed, where it's just like something I did on Instagram. It's probably not going to happen now. I'm really mad with Instagram. But yeah, you know, if that were the case, I'd use it for that. I'd also maybe use it as the Burke from NWA or something like that. The belt is really thin and really small compared to Nyla. Like, it really doesn't suit her in this particular instance. But yeah, it's really cool. And you can see underneath we have another layer of plastic to, I guess, stop the belt from rubbing on her, I guess. I don't know. Now I'm going to try and get this from around her waist. I know I could just pop it off, but I ain't going to do that. So there we go. You can see underneath the what the rest of the attire looks like. You can see that nice big crack. 2 nice big cracks, actually, right through it. That's one thing I really don't like about the AEW line, but, you know, it's not that big of a deal. From a distance, you can't really see it. It's kind of going to suck on an animation, but it is what it is. And, of course, we have this skirt with the bloody handprint on the front, gold trim as well, and then the NR on the back. And then the kind of bare legs, or bare thighs, bare hips. We got the gold trim knee pads and these kind of, these boots with, like, fray around them, with a nice bit of gold paint on that one as well. So that's pretty cool as well. And then around the back of the figure, of course, we looked at the back of the skirt. The hair mold in there is, you know, it's pretty interesting. It kind of looks a little bit, it definitely looks a bit worse than a lot of AEW hair molds, I think. Like the Chris Jericho mold that I did a few years back, that was really cool. This is a little bit less detailed, but it's still all right. You know, it's still fine. I've also discovered that she has this tattoo high up on her back, but it's kind of hard to see. You kind of have to take her head off to uncover it, and more on that later. So now we'll check the joints over, and first of all, okay, that's the first time that's ever happened. Thank God it's supposed to do that, right? Am I right, folks? Well, I'm not going to lie, as much as I like Nyla because of her personality and so on their Ethan Page vlogs, I probably wouldn't replace this if it did break. Now, where did that head go? Yeah, so if we go a bit more delicate with it, then we have to concede that it's just badly designed and it doesn't turn properly because of the hair. If you turn it, if you want it any further than like kind of the range we've got there, the head's just going to come off. So that's good. It's also a bit of a pain getting the head back on under all that hair, because again, it's kind of like the Build-A-Figure thing where it's like, you know, it's hard to properly work out if it's properly popped in because there's so much hair in the way of where you're looking. So that's terrible. That's really bad design. I mean, we recently did the Angelina Love, and this thing can move with all of that hair over the shoulder and everything. The head on that turns perfectly fine. So this video is starting to serve as like a character assassination for Jeremy Padawa for me, and I really didn't intend that going in. And my opinion of the guy isn't great anyway. Shoulder does sit flat to the body though, that makes both of them, which makes it better than a lot of the metal elites we get nowadays. The shoulder, yeah, it's not loose at all. Nice little ratchet in there, that's fine. The bicep is fine, and the elbow is fine, and the wrist is alright. Does kind of matter if the wrist is okay in this instance, because of course she didn't come with any interchangeable hands, which we don't see too often on the AEWs. Oh, we missed some tattoos on the inside of this arm. We got the bicep swivel, it's fine, the elbow's fine, and the wrist is fine. That's as far forward as the torso goes. I think they usually go a bit further forward than that, but that's as far as she's going. She's maxing out there. Waist, turns even less. That's like a Super 7 Andre level of waist turn. And the leg out is actually surprisingly fine considering this, you know, we've got the skirt there. The knee is okay. We've got no boot cut, of course, and the toe does move, so it's got that going for it. So the joints actually, you know, a bit of a mixed bag. It's like general AEW figure joints. They all feel like they're going to get loose eventually, but as they are, they're fine. So we're going to put the belt back on her. It actually has to be on the outside loop to even fit her. And we're going to put this scarf back on, hopefully, without it popping her head off again. Yeah. So yeah, her head did come off, and that's when I've spotted that tattoo. And yeah, her head did come off again while trying to just put this on under it. So we'll do it the other way. This might be easier this way. So all in all, what do I think of this figure? What do I think of this figure? Well, I think that I think there's some kind of rubber residue stained on my scarf. I think the figure's head pops off if you move it at all. The head scan itself isn't great, but other than that, it's cool. I mean, the head is a likeness of Nyla. It's got tattoos for days. It's got nice little details. The gear she wears is like fairly toyetic anyway. The scarf, getting the scarf kind of on and off, it's just going to be taking a head off on and off. No interchangeable hands, but she does come with the belt, of course. But the belt is so common at this point in AEW figures. Oh no, I've got 4. I just thought I've got 4 AEW women's figures and 3 of them come with a belt. I think the figure itself is fine, but I think that the hair design is bad. And I think that, you know, just general grumblings about jazwares, AEW figures, etc. But the figure's fine, and of course we got it a little bit cheaper than retail, so that's cool as well. And what I like to do to finish off these unboxings is talk about what this character is going to be doing in my figure fed. At the top and bottom of it is that although I have plans for a general kind of title picture, I don't really know what's going to be happening in the women's division. I don't know who's going to be feuding with who. And not long ago, you know, probably by like back when I actually did the last show for my fed, I not only wasn't planning on having a women's division, but I definitely wasn't planning on Nyla Rose being in it. So she probably will pop up. She might have a bit of a feud with Beth Phoenix, you know, a bit of beast versus beast, strong woman versus strong woman, maybe Nyla Rose versus China, stuff like that. But generally speaking, you know, she'll be around. Like I say, it's hard to tell really what the women are going to be doing in terms of storylines. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with my women's division, to be honest. I've more or less got everyone that I was after. So yeah, she's definitely just going to slot in and out of there. Is she going to be a women's champion? No idea. I honestly have no idea for what is going to happen with the women's championship beyond what is happening right now in Beth Phoenix holding it. But beyond that, I don't have a long-term plan, so who knows. And if you enjoyed this video, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the NWOpenings playlist in the end screen for more, and I really do appreciate you guys joining me, so thank you all for watching, and goodbye. God's sake. Oh, for God's sake, times 2. Just stay where you are. No! Just stop falling, you piles of shit. Fuck's sake. The attire on the gear, the gold trim knee pads. Fred, I knew you were going to get scared and walk out. For God's sake. It's like you get one annoying thing during a video and everything else just follows it.